We got 1 minute. 1 minute before the magic starts. I can guarantee you that you will be in for a treat. James will absolutely blow your mind away with what he's going to do. He may get, he may move a little quickly. That happens when he gets excited. So just remember, you will get this recording to go back and look at it in case you miss something. Because when he gets excited, he just gets excited, and anybody that knows James knows that. Um, I'm going to say it again before we turn it over. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in those chat panels. We have our amazing Wilcom team. We've got Maria on here, our support manager. We have Marquita on here, our client success manager. Selena's on, our sales manager. We even have our IT manager, Mike Griffin, on the line. So go ahead and put those questions in the chat, and then we will get those answered for you. And I think we are ready to roll. James, give it maybe 1 minute. I see a few more people still kind of getting on here.
Okay.
And then we're going to rock and roll. Miss Ingrid, yes, I don't know if you heard me. That presentation will be emailed over later today. So if you missed James at 11 o'clock this morning, you'll get the email where you can watch that recording. Ms. Martha said the webinars have done its job. She just upgraded to 2026. Thank you so much, Ms. Martha. So many of you have updated to 2026 over the last 2 days. So again, we appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to stop talking because you didn't come here for me. You came for James. James, you can take it over.
All right. Thank you, T. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today for our spring virtual trade show. We're going to talk about the multi-blend feature in the EmbroideryStudio 2026. And we're going to talk about traditional blending. And traditional blending equals time-consuming work. ES 2026 equals smoother transitions with fewer objects. Perfect for florals, mascots, and gradients. And today we'll build a flower using this exact workflow. I'm going to take you into my program here. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Wilcom EmbroideryStudio 2026. And what I've done just to save time, because when you're creating designs and logos like this, this is not something that takes 2 seconds. These type of designs, if you're creating anything like this, they may take an hour or two. And as you're going through and you're creating these special blend fills with this new multi-blend feature in the EmbroideryStudio 2026, it just takes your breath away how awesome this program is. And what I have here is I have the design mostly completed because I wanted you to see this. I wanted you to actually see what the finished piece looks like here with the blending, so that when I go over to the other side here, and here also, I've taken away the blending fills on top. And so for the most of this, we have just the bottom fills here with this. And I just wanted to share with you exactly how I did this in the process that I went through to do this. In the background here, you'll see as I zoom in, you see some of the fill types here, and you'll see the blending effects on top of the fills. Now, once I went in and once I've gone in and I've created the leaves, this is exactly how I did this. Here as you go in, and I'm looking at this design, and I'm looking at my colors, and I'm paying close attention to my colors. And what I want to do at this particular point here is I select this leaf inside my color object list, which stays open constantly because I want to be able to see my objects in my color object list as well as on my workspace page. And here I'm looking at this and I'm saying this is color number 8. And I want to go in, and when I start digitizing this, the color number 8 here is going to be the color here. If I right click on this and I've got these grouped together here, I'll ungroup these. And now when I click on this first color here, this tells me inside my color object list, of course, that this is color number 2. This is very important because when you're creating blending type fills, the colorizations is going to be that's going to be the most important thing in being able to blend the colors together. And you want to try to stay in the same color family. If you have a green fill, you're going to be constantly using either a tint or a shade of that green color in order to get the blending effect to work. And that's how we use the stitching in order to create this awesome effect. Here, all I've got to do here, I can see that my color number 2 here is active. So I'm going to go in. I'm just going to click on my color number 2 here. Now, in order for me to create this effect that I'm looking at here, there are 2 ways that you can actually create the effect. One is using a tatami stitch fill. And normally for large fill areas, we use the tatami stitch fill. But in this particular case, based on what I want to do with the multi-blend feature in the software, I'm going to go up top here and I'm going to choose the column B. Once I select column B and I'm on my color number 2 here, my next step now here is to go in and just start digitizing this leaf just like this. Zoom in here. As I'm digitizing this, and again, this is not a design. This is not something that is going to be run in production. This is a special type design. As I press enter and go to the side B that I'm creating here. So there may be a possibility, there may be more trims and more color changes in designs like this, because this is more so kind of a creative type design that I'm looking at here. And once I finish this, it fills this in. What I want to do here, because of the finished size is very large, so I'm going to select my pick tool. I want to change this fill type here. As I select this, I can go to my object properties. Here's my satin. I want to change this to my tatami stitch, and it's going to change that pattern here just like that. Now, what I also do when I'm digitizing things like this, I'm constantly pressing the S as in Sam key, because the S key shows the stitches and the S key also hides the stitches. Why is this important? This, sometimes I want to see the graphic here so I can see what the colors look like. Here, as I'm looking at this, looking at the colorization here, I can see that here I have my stem and I've got a shadow here. So it's up to me at this particular point here to decide where in fact I want that shadow to be with this design. And with this, as I select here, I'll press S again. If I'm not sure what color the shade is here, I'll click the color here. It tells me this is color number 8. So watch this. Inside the Wilcom EmbroideryStudio 2026, with this fill type here, all I've got to do at this point here, select this fill. I'm going to navigate over and I'm going to choose my multi-blend feature. All I'm going to do is going to click it just to select it. Watch what happens. 1, 2, 3. Once I do that, it pops up on my screen with the multi-blend. And let me select this also. I want to lock this. So I'm going to navigate up top. I'll click my little tab to lock that there so it doesn't move. And now I've got these 2 colors here that I'm working with. And what's important now, taking it from the basics, I have the bottom layer, and you always want the bottom layer to stitch completely through solid, because you want to be able to see that bottom color underneath the top fill here. How do I do this? I'm going to go here. I want to also go here to my object properties. I want to change this to a tatami stitch. And you see here how it's changed. So now, as I zoom in, the green is not stitching all the way through. And I want the green to stitch solid. So all I can do here now is go into my multi-blend. You can select the object here. Here you have your tools. I can navigate. I can select my open effects as I left click. That's going to open up my object properties here. At this point now, guys, I'll just choose accordion. Once I select accordion, it shows me that the accordion is actually active on this green fill. Well, I don't want the accordion active here. So I'm going to deselect this. Watch what happens. As soon as I do that, it fills in this background here completely at this particular point. What I could also do here with this, I can also select color number 2 here just by clicking on it. Once I select it, I can navigate down here. I can choose color number 6, and I can change that color just like this. If I need to make it darker, I can change it here to color number 8. Now, what the beauty is of being able to go in and do this, watch this. Inside my multi-blend Docker here, I can, again, as I select the color that I want to use for this, I can choose how far I want to blend this particular shade based on this fill area. Watch this. As I navigate, I can choose here. When I select, it gives me a vertical arrow. I can click this and move this down. Watch what happens to my leaf. It does it on the top side. Okay. If I go in, press S, it needs to be on the other side. So all I've got to do now, take this back and go to the other side like this. Watch what happens. You see that? And as I press S here, I can go in any type of modification that I need to make with this, guys. Having this object selected here in my workspace, all I got to do here, guys, is go navigate over and I can choose my reshape tool. Once I select reshape, it separates this color number 2 that's on top. And now I can actually go in, I can press S. You see what I'm doing here? I can get rid of any of these node points here by clicking on those and pressing delete because I don't need those now. I can move this down. So you see what's happening, right? I'm actually going in and I'm actually choosing where that blend is going to be basically, and I'm cutting it off where I want to cut it off at. And that's really, really important. What I can also do with this as well, I don't just want to just leave it just like this. I also want to be able to go in. What if I want to go in and create another effect with it? What if I want to go in and do a different type of blend? What if I want to go in and do a light color in one area and a darker color in the other area? All you have to do, guys, is this in this awesome software. As I navigate here, I'm on color number 2. I'll go into my properties. In my properties, all I've got to do is go in and I can choose. Watch this. As I scroll down, I have these different profiles that I can go in and select. So you see what happens on my workspace page when I go in and I choose these different profiles. It allows me to go in and direct exactly where I want. And then as you look at this, you'll see very dense areas, and you'll also see areas that are not dense. And what this is showing you basically, when the lines are further apart, that means the density is open. As you see that as it gets more dense, that means they're closer together. What else could I do with this? Well, you have a new option here now, and this is your custom profile. If I select it, this lets me go down further. Now I have a little scale that I can use, and I can go in and I can turn. Watch this. If I want it tighter, you see what happens in the middle there? And it goes in and it actually tightens up that area. And this is one reason why this software is just so incredible, because you can do so many things and you have so much more control with the software in the process of being able to do this. If I want to change this, I can go in, I can do it this way. If I want it more dense on one area here, I can move this just like this. It's totally up to me where I want to go in and apply this dense fill versus the looser density fill in this particular area. So right now, once I've gone in and I've satisfied myself as far as going in, well, this looks nice, I'm satisfied with this. The next step for me now to go in and do, if I press S here again, I want to add a little stem here down the center of this. And now I can go in again. And this time I'll navigate in, I'll choose my column B stitch. I'll go in and I'll select color number 10, and I'll just digitize this just like this as I'm going in. And I'm just creating this myself, right? And this is what you can do inside this software, because as you go in, watch this, you can go in and create these just incredible fill types here as you're going into the software. As I press S, this is what it looks like. Okay, so I've actually gone in, I've added one section to my design now. And what I could do with this also, I'm going to roll my mouse button backwards here like this. So I've got my leaf here that I've gone in and I've fixed this. And the next step now is I want to place this underneath the top portion of this. And all I've got to do, I want to go in. If I select this leaf here, this tells me as I go to my color object list, what object this is. It's going to be up at the top here, just like this. And so I can go in and select one and the stem, and I can go into my properties here with this, and I want to move this up. And what I can do with this, let me navigate up top. I'm looking for my sequence tool. Here I'll go to window, and I'll choose toolbars. And here's my sequence. I somehow turned it off. I've got that sequence tool here now. All I've got to do is select what I want there. And here I can choose move to start. It places that. You see how it places that directly underneath that? And I'm just going to repeat this same process over again as I go in and I do the next one, basically. And with this as well, as I look at this, again, I've got my color number 2. And I'm going to repeat this, guys. And when you go in and you're working inside the software and you're creating things like this is what you're going to be doing, guys. Again, you have the large fill area here. And again, I want to control where this blend is with this. So I'll again go in and I'll choose my column B stitch. And with this, I'm going to start digitizing this again, just like this. And this is going to be underneath the other area here, just like that. Don't want to go too far to the inside. It needs to be slightly to the inside, but not too far, because the design is fairly large. And once I go in, now what has happened here with this one is, as I look at this, I'm going to press enter. And I'm going to go back up to the top here to do side 2 with this. Now, as I go through this process, guys, all you're doing is you're creating these different sections here with the fill area. And what happened here with this one is the fill type that I chose for this one is a column B stitch. And when I went in and I did this, you see what happened here? So I've got to go in. I'm going to press S here. I have a choice here with this one, guys. And with this one, because I chose the column B stitch, as you can see here, it didn't fill this particular area in. And I'm actually glad that it did that, because I can show you how to go in and straighten this out. At this particular point now, I can't use the column B stitch. I've got to go in and I'm going to undo this, or let me just select this and press delete. Because of this shape and the column B stitch, it's given me a different direction that I need to go in with this. And this time I'll choose my tatami stitch fill. And now when I go in and digitize this, I can do the tatami stitch fill. What's different about this fill versus the other? This fill it allows me to go in and complete just the outline and not side A first and then side B. So when I go in and I'm creating the shape here, and I want you to just think about this as you're going in and you're creating these specialty type shapes here like this. As I press enter, my stitch angle. So here's my fill stitch. So what's different about this fill stitch versus the column B stitch? Well, this is what happens with this. Now I want to go in and I want to do my blend on top of this. If I press S as in Sam, I can see how that looks. And as I go in, I'll go in and I'll navigate here. This time I'll also choose the multi-blend feature in the software. And here it goes in. Here's the multi-blend. Again, I want to make sure that the bottom layer of this is fill solid. Okay, and again, I'll click on that color, number 2. I'll navigate here to my properties, and I'll navigate, go up top here. I'll uncheck the accordion spacing like you see here. And again, I can select color number 2, and I can change the color here to color number 6, like this. Now, what's different about the tatami stitch fill with this, I'm a little bit limited here with the tatami stitch fill, because now I can only go in and click this, and I can move this in like that. And this is just because this is a tatami stitch fill on this one, and it's not the column B stitch. So therefore, I'm kind of limited as far as how I'm going to go in and do this one. But I'm not going to let that stop me, because if I press S and I go in, and I can see that I can use this portion here and kind of move this in. And all I got to do here, once I select the image or the object here in my color object list, I'll navigate to my reshape tool. And here, as I press S, I can still control this. I can select these node points that I don't want to use. I can delete those. I can go in. I can stop this here. I can press my space bar to make that a line point. And here, I'm just going in and I'm changing the shape of this just like this. And this is what you can do in this incredible software, guys. Here's I select these node points. I can press delete. This one, press my space bar like this. And this is what I'm looking at. Okay, I want to go in. I can zoom in. Well, this is the area that I want to fill. So I want to make sure that that area here is covered. And because I can separate this manually, I can go in and I can do it just like this now. So you see that? And so this is how you can control exactly where the fill is going to go at here. And I'll move my starting and exit point here for this. And so this is how you control it, guys. As I go in, and if that color here, if it's not dark enough, I can just click on the color here. I can choose color number 8. I can darken that color just like this. Next, as I press S, I've got my stem. And here I'll choose color number 8. I'll go in and I'll digitize this with the column B stitch just like this, guys. And as I go in just like this is how this process works, guys. When you're thinking about creating blends, it's not a simple click, 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 click this. Even though Wilcom has made it much easier in this process and being able to do this, this is absolutely incredible, guys. It absolutely blows me away. I'm going to select this and I'll change this now to a satin stitch. And this is what I got. Okay. I can go in, I can add another shadow here to the other side of this if I want to. But at this particular point here, I just want to go in and select these items here, making sure that I got the first one here selected with the on top the shading here and stem. And I can go in, I can click to the start, and it again moves that in position just like this. And let me also go up top here and click save. In this process, guys, as you're working inside the software, everything is done in stages basically. And like I mentioned earlier, this particular design is not one that's going to run in production. This is something here, a special type design that's being created for a specialty type job, basically. And again, once I go here, color number 2 again, I can decide here, and based on this shape, and this shape is different than the last one that I did, because this particular shape here, I can actually go back and use the column B stitch for this one, just like this, guys. There's not a V cut in the center of it that's cutting it off. So with this one, right down the center, just like this, guys, because you are controlling everything. As I press enter, I'll go back up to the top just like this. It's just like poetry in motion when you're working inside this incredible software. As you're going in, step by step. And this is why when you're talking to and you're dealing with digitizers that have experience in the industry, this is what we have to do when we're doing complex designs. It's not just a click and everything is perfectly fine with designs like this. This is a separate type of design that we're working with here, basically. And as I look at this, I want to change to the color number 2, like this. And again, as I press S, I can see what I'm looking at here. And because I use the column B stitch here again, I can go in and I can set this up. Here, I'll choose my multi-blend. Guys, this is so incredible being able to use this feature inside the software. It changes everything. In the previous versions, you would spend hours going in trying to get that perfect blend effect. But here, everything is just kind of laid out for you right here. As I select this, as I go in, I'm going to choose my object properties, take off the accordion spacing because on the bottom fill, and for the top fill here, when I look at this, again, I go to effects. I need to make this satin stitch here a tatami stitch. And this is how easy that you can go in and do this and make these changes inside the software. And I can select this. I can go to color number 8. I can press S again here like this. And I'm going to go in, and because I chose the column B stitch, I have more options with this one. This lets me go in and do this with it. And I can choose exactly where I want to go in and do that, just like this. Watch this. I can also go horizontal. You see that? You see how it takes it away? This is absolutely mind-blowing, the way that this software works, guys. And I can take this and move it all the way down like this as I'm working with this. And because I have this color selected inside my multi-blend, I can go directly to my color blending tool, or I can press H as in Harry and take me to the reshape tool here. As I select this, all I've got to do is go in and move these node points just like this, guys. Because I'm controlling everything. And being able to go in and do this, guys, is absolutely, it's just amazing. I can't explain to you enough. And I get so excited when I'm dealing with things like this because it's just such a wonderful tool to use inside the software. Let's go ahead and I'm going to make sure everything is in place like this. You're controlling the fill by going in, setting it up. Delete this one. You undo this. Whenever you make a mistake, you undo. Just take it back. As it goes in and fills that in, I'll press S here. I'll go back here. I'll, again, choose my color number 10 or color number 8 here, depending on what I want to use for this. And I'll go in and choose my column B stitch, and I'll do my stem, just like this. It's the same process, guys. You're just continuing it. And in the process, you're building this awesome design in the process as you're going through. You know, as I select this, I'll choose my satin stitch like this. I want to make sure when I go in, when you have fills like this and you have your blending effect here with this, you want to make sure, because I don't want to see this line in the fill here. There are features inside the software that allow you to go in and hide this by navigating up top here. You have what you call a trapunto. If I select trapunto, it makes that go away. This is before, and trapunto makes it go away. You see more incredible features inside this software, guys, that just absolutely just blow your mind. And I want to select color number 1 here as well. I want to also go into my effects. I want to make sure that I have my tatami stitch here selected for this. As I go in and choose tatami stitch just like this. And again, once I select 1, press my control key down, and 2, my sequence tool. Where did he go again? Did I miss him again here? Go to window here, the toolbars here, and he's still on the screen actually. There it is. Slide it over here like this. As I click, and I could always I could reposition these later on. I'm not so concerned about this right now. And I'll choose number 1. I'll move it up to the top here, and I'll click my save icon here to save that. So now, as I'm going through this process, guys, and showing you how this works, once I've gone in and I've got the bottom portions of this done, again, the main point here that I'm trying to make is as I'm going in and as I'm digitizing this design, I'm building up layers. And as you're building up layers, this is how you actually go in and create something, and creates depth perception, because you have a background, you have a middle ground, and you also have a foreground. that you're working with. And what that does in embroidery, it creates depth perception is what it does. The front parts here of the leaves here, I can go in. If I select this or like this, this is color number 1. I can go in, and what I chose here for this also is not just a regular straight fill. I wanted to choose a fill stitch that could turn the stitches basically because I wanted a certain type of effect with this. And this allowed me to go in. And for this, I'll choose my tatami stitch fill here. I'll navigate up top, and I'm going to also navigate across here, and I'm going to choose my Florentine effect. Florentine effect here. This allows me to go in, press S, and I'll digitize this just like this, guys. Got my outline just like this. As I go in, I can tuck this underneath this. Oops, if I make a mistake, I can press my backspace key. Here, I clicked it really fast just now. Sometimes I get too excited, guys. And here with this now, I'll go in. I'll create my stitch angle, and this is what that looks like. I'll select this, choose color number 1, and with my stitch angle here now, I'll press H. I've got a turning stroke here with the Florentine effect. And again, this is going to give me, it's going to give me a very unique shape here with this fill. And this, because this is what I want it to look like. I didn't want a straight fill here. I actually wanted to go in and do a fill that turns it basically. So when I go in and do the fill on top of it with the color blend, it goes in and it takes effect. Now, what I also want to do here as well, because they're the same color, I want to go in, I want to make sure that there's not a trim. So on some areas of this design, as I go to my reshape mode here, as I select this, as I go to reshape mode, here I'll start at the top and I'll go to the bottom like this. And with these bottom fills here also, as you're working with these fill types, with the bottom fill, you can also have an underlay stitch with that bottom fill here with the size of the design basically. And I'll go back and I'll adjust and change the density settings. That's very easy to do because if I wanted to go in and change the density settings on all of the yellow, it's just as simple as going up to my edit drop menu here, scrolling down and choosing select by color. I can choose color number 1 and click OK. Watch that. It selects every color number 1 in my workspace. You see what I'm saying? This is how easy it is to go in. And with this, inside my properties here under my effects, I can go into my underlay stitches here and I can do my underlay stitches just by going in and selecting just like this. I'll do the rest of them also, but here I just wanted to show you exactly what I'm doing with this. And for the top here, I'll go in secondary underlay stitch like this. I'll go in, I'll use the tatami like this. And this is the bottom layer fill here is what this is. And as I'm looking at this here again, I'll continue the same process here, guys. As I go to the next one here, as I press S here, I have color number 1 here. I have my tatami stitch fill. As I'm going in, I'll start this next one here just like this. Just doing that shape just like this, guys. And I know that when I go back on top of this, for the blend fill, it's going to fit perfectly with this, just like this, guys. As I go in, as I press enter. Just like this. As I press S, goes in. I'll continue with this. As I press S to hide the stitches. Sometimes you want to see the stitches. Sometimes you want to hide the stitches. In this process here, as I'm going in and as I'm digitizing this, just like this, guys. If I make a mistake, I press the backspace key, just like this. Needs to be closer to the edge, just like this, because this is a large design. So press enter and stitch angle, enter like this. This is what it looks like. Okay. And I can navigate here. I can test this out. Here's my exit point here. If I want to see where the starting point was on the previous item, I'll press Shift and Tab. You see how it goes backwards? Shift Tab goes backwards like this. And here I'm seeing the exit point is here. Now, the reason why I don't want the exit point here, you see this line here? I don't want that there actually. And what I've done inside my software in order to offset, just in case this line, just let's say that there's no way that I could go in and save it from not showing this. What I've done inside my software is inside my object properties here, under my complex fill, here's the overlap. I overlap the line 7 rows of stitches because in case it does do an overlap, I want it to overlap those 7 lines of stitches basically because I don't want to see a gap on that fabric. So to make sure of that, I'm going to overlap this 7 rows of stitches here. And I'll use this. I want to put this on the bottom like this. I'll go forward. I'll press Tab. Starting point. I'll move this here. Exit point there. Press Tab. Starting point. Exit point there also like that. And I'll click Save. So this process, the more that I go in and do this, the more actually excited that I get about it also. But just here, just to show you how this process works. And if you're going in and doing this, you can't be in a hurry when you're going and doing things like this, because this is a special type fill. And this is not for a beginner. This is something here for an advanced user, basically. And if you're not there yet, as long as you continue practicing with it, you will get there. I can promise you that actually. Just never stop working on it as you're going in. Here's areas just like this. And like I said, I'll always go back, making sure that everything is in the right location. This is just to show you how this process works. As I press Enter again, stitch angle, curve, press Enter. This is what it looks like. As I continue, just like this. And once you really get into it, you start getting a lot faster because you're kind of repeating, you're doing like repetitive stuff. And by being able to do this, you get faster. And over the years, you'll get much quicker also. I've been at this for 41 years, so I've had a little bit of practice. Okay. So right now, as I look at this, let me click Save up top like this. And so now, as I'm looking at this, I've got my my colors here, got my leaves, and I want to be able to go in and move those in position. And so I'll select this one. Notice the locations here. Well, I need to change the stitching order. As I select this, I'll just press my control key down and click this one, and then this one. And then got to make sure I click. If you make a mistake, just click off of it, okay? Let me press Escape. I want this one to stitch first. As I press Control, then this one, then this one, then this one, and then this one. And I'm going to choose 1, 2, 3. Where'd it go this time? Let's go to Window, Toolbars. There it is. I'm going to choose 1, 2, 3. You see what happens? This is before. This is after. It totally changes the sequence here of the stitching to where now it goes in and is stitching number 1 at the same time. Okay. Now I can actually go in. I can choose my brown and I can move this to the bottom. Now it's stitching on top just like this. And I'll go in and I'll click Save just like that. And this process that we're using here to go in and create this design with, basically, this process that we're using, again, it's a repetitive type thing that you're doing with the software. And as you're going in at this particular point now, I've got my major fills done. I've got my bottom layer of fills here completed. And like I said, in the end, I'll go back. I'll go over every single centimeter, every single millimeter of this design to make sure that I have the right underlay stitches, that I have the right density settings. For those of you who are brand new, what density is the space between each stitch, okay? And sometimes that distance is further than others, basically, but when you're dealing with the blending effect, basically, you can go in and you can change those and increase those actually And the bottom line is I want to be able to see the yellow fill here underneath this. Okay, so right now I'm going to press S, and I'm looking at this, this first one here. Let's say we'll start here on this one. My blend here is on the left side. So as I go through this, so I'm looking at this here. Let me navigate this color here. It's color number 2. So here I'm just going in, making sure that I have the correct colors with this, guys. So once I select this, fill, I'll navigate, I'll choose the multi-blend feature just like this. It goes in. Let me make sure I got the right thing selected here first. The fill. Here's my multi-blend. I want to add a color. I can click the plus sign here. It adds a color. And this color, as I select this, it's color number 3. See what happens? It goes in. See, here's my color number 3. And now, so I should be able to move this in position. So as I scroll here, let's start at the bottom here. You see that? Just by going in and moving the slider up, I can position this just like this. Now, at the same time, I also want to go in and I want to select this. I want to go into my object properties here, like you see this. And here, when I go into my accordion spacing, this time when I go in, I want to actually go in and I want to increase or loosen up this density here on this fill. And here I can go in. Here you have your spacing. Here you have a minimum spacing here, 0.4. I can make this 0.8. Press enter. You see what happens here? This is before. This is after. I want to go in here also. If I choose effects and if I choose underlay, I don't need any underlay stitches for this top layer. So I got to take them off like this, because the underlay stitches will actually interfere with the view of the finished embroidery. So we can't have any underlay stitches on this top layer. It's critical. Okay. And now also, if I go back here, I go back to my effects. Here, I can go in and I can choose any of these profiles here. I can select the custom profile, and I can go in and I can choose to increase on an area, and I can decrease on the area like this. I'm in total control of how this thing stitches, guys, just like this. And I can go in also, I can increase the maximum. I can make this 3.0. Just like this, guys. And I'm going in and I'm changing this inside my workspace, just controlling everything. And you know what? And I didn't even break this apart. They're still grouped together here. I didn't have to go in and break anything apart yet. Sometimes it's necessary to go in and do that. But in this particular scenario here, I'll leave it just like this, basically. Next one, I'll just select it just like this. Again, I'll go in, I'll choose my, at this point here, the multi-blend is already activated. So here, I only need to go in and click the plus sign and add another color. Click this, change this to color number 3. Just like this. And again, scroll my bar up. You decide what direction that you want to go in like this. Look at that. You can go in as I press S. That's what it looks like. And again, once I go in and once I select this, I have the ability to go into this point here. I could go in into my properties here under my accordion spacing here. I can go in, I can click this. You see what happens? You have to make sure, you have to be careful, because what I did, I just selected it. You can't just select it without thinking about what you're selecting, guys. I'm going to undo this. You have to go in and you have to select the color that you're working with. Okay. Once you select the color that you're working with, then you go into the accordion spacing and you make your changes just like that. Okay. And I go to effects here again. Any type of underlay stitches for this? No underlay stitches for those areas. You don't need them, because the main purpose of this is you want to be able to see the color of the thread underneath this basically. And that's what really sets it apart as you go in and you're seeing that color blend underneath this. And as I look at this also, as I select this, I can go back here to effects. I can go in and I can increase this. Totally up to you how much you want to go in and change this. I can go in and adjust the profiles just like this. So you get to decide basically where that tightness is inside the blend and where it's looser. You get to decide that inside the software, guys. And it's just absolutely incredible the way that this works basically. And I'll just continue this process here as I select. I'm in my multi-blend. I'll click plus here to add this color just like that. As I select this, all I got to do is just continue this, guys. I'll continue it basically as I go in. I can move this up. Again, it gets to be repetitive, okay? And this color here, this first one, should be color number 1. And it's great that you can go in, you can play with these colors here just by going in. You can isolate the colors here just by going in and selecting the individual colors here. And the great thing about this also is I can also go in and let's say maybe you want to go in and add a third, a fourth color. You're not limited anymore to the number of colors that you can go in and lay down with this particular design. Now I can go in, I can add more colors just by clicking the plus sign, like this. Plus sign, plus sign, plus sign. I can add more colors. And this is totally different from before because now you can go in and you can add as many colors as you want to add to it, guys. And again, that's the really one of the most incredible things about this new software that you can actually go in and do this. And as I select this here again, as I choose accordion spacing here, just want to make sure when I select this, you got to make sure also add a third color on this. I'm going to just delete it. What I was looking at here is this color here. Again, let me undo this. As I go back here, I'll choose the accordion spacing. And here again, this shows you exactly why you have to be very careful when you're doing designs like this, because you're working with individual objects still. So you'll have to go in and make sure that you click on the actual object that you want to modify. Okay, you have to click it first. And once you select it, then you go in and you make your changes like this. Okay, effects, turn off the underlay stitches, go back here to effects with this. I can play with this. I can change the order here of the, I can make this, if I make it 1.0, it loosens it up here. 3.0 here like this. As I'm looking at this, and whenever you see this, it looks a bit strange, then you'll know that you have too many colors. Got to go in and delete a color like this. And with this color, I can change this as I select it here, and I'll choose color number 3. Same process, guys. Go into your audio properties. You go into your accordion spacing, make your necessary changes. Anything that you need to do at this particular point here, you'll go in and in your effects here, you go in, take off the underlay stitches, and you'll continue this process. Let me click save here also, just like this. And this is the beauty of being able to take a design like this and be able to process this design and create just a beautiful embroidered design with something like this, or anything like this also as you're going in and you're working inside the EmbroideryStudio software. The sky's the limit. Okay, I mean, you could just do pretty much anything that you want to do with it by going in and selecting this. I'll press S. I can always go in and take a look at the artwork here. I can see where that blend is here, and you select it again. I'm already in a multi-blend feature. I'll click the plus. As I go in, it selects that here. I go in, I change the color number 3, just like that. I go in here, effects, accordion, like this. Here, again, I scroll up or scroll down. I get to choose where that fill is. If that's not the place where it should be, I'll scroll back down again and move it from the top like this. That's all I got to do. And go to effects here again. Take off the underlay stitches. Isn't that cool? Same process, guys. As you go through, you're just repeating the same thing here. You'll choose the next one. Okay. You'll add a second color. You click on that color and you change it to color number 3, just like this. You go in, you have the ability now, you can go in and change this. I'll move this to the bottom like this. I'll press S to show my stitches here like this. I can see that it's in the wrong direction, but you know what? Again, it's not a problem for me because all I got to do is go here and change this. This is complete control, guys. You see why I love this so much? Okay. Effects, accordion with this. So here, and I have options here also that I can go in, and I can even go in and do this all at once, basically. But here, I'm just showing you what you can do inside this software and the possibilities that you have as you're going in and you're creating effects here inside this software. Anything that I want to go in and adjust here, if I want to choose the custom, I can choose the custom. I can go in. I can change how this looks just like this. You're controlling it, guys, just by going in any way you want to do it. Any way that you want to do it, just like this. Keeps me up to 2 o'clock in the morning more often than not. Here's I select this here again. I'll choose my plus sign here again. Same process, guys. Everything is, you go in, you see as you go through this process here, everything's the same. The repetitive motion as you're going in, and the more that you do it, guys, the better, the faster that you get with it also. And with this here, as I select this here again, accordion, same process. My effects, no underlay stitches for this. And again, as I go through the top, move this down, press S, wrong place, not a problem. Move this back up to the top like this and go from the bottom, just like this. This is almost revolutionary, okay? Because here, as you're going in and using the scale, as you're going in and you're working with this blend, as you're going inside the software, this is totally different. This is totally new than what we used to have to do before, guys. And with this, again, everything, multi-blend, select. For this one, let me go in, let me choose multi-blend. There it is. Color number 2. As I select this here, just like that. Again, for something like this, as I go in, I get to decide, like, well, how am I going to go in and do this one? If this changes at all, like this, I can still go in. Now, because I'm using this, I can still use my arrow keys. I can still slide this over to the left or to the right. Okay. And if I need to go in and change it, I can press H for my reshape mode like this. And you still have control over it because you can still go in and you can change this. Let me zoom in here, make sure that I've got everything in the right location here like this. You can still go in and you can change it just like this, guys, because you're in total control of it. Just like this.
James, your excitement is contagious. Our audience is so excited with this game changer that we've brought into Embroidery Studio 2026. We do have a few questions out there that maybe you can answer. So Dustin was asking, do do you have any recommendations for underlay with so many different layers with the multi-blend?
That's a great question. With the multi blend, one thing that we always have to keep in mind, on that bottom layer of fill, you could for instance, if you normally use like a 40 density setting with that, because you have to be careful because you can't go too tight with it because you don't want any bulletproof embroidery. So in that particular regard, you just loosen that density. If you're using like a 40, you may want to go 45 and to loosen the density a little bit, because as you're placing the layers on top of it, you're constantly building the layers. And once you complete that, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 colors, once that complete layer is done, it's going to equal to about the same density as you normally would use. And this is because you're moving in layers by going in and loosening the density for each layer. That bottom layer is critical because the bottom layer is going to be the first layer that goes down. So that will need an underlay stitch for the fill area, and everything that's going to go on top of it, you just go in and just loosen the densities on those basically. So if you're using a 0.40, maybe you need to go 0.45, and you just go in and loosen that density because you can't use the same density on each layer. Great question.
We also have a question from Danielle regarding trims. How does this affect the trims? Is it adding trims for those different changes and layers that are being created through the multi-blend?
Yes, it is. And and this is the thing to keep in mind. This design is not for production. This design here basically is something that would be like a specialty type design basically. And if you're doing color blending, there are going to be lots of color changes within that design based on the number of colors that you're going to be working with. So that's something that's not going to be able to be helped with it basically. Now you saw that I went in and I was able to stitch all of the yellow at once. So in any area of the design, you do want to make sure that you can, if you can continue stitching any area of the design, that you can continue keeping the needle on the fabric. You want to be able to do that. But by going in and adding the second colors, basically, I can go in and I can program the second colors to all stitch at once. But that's something that I'll have to take a look at once I'm done with that design, basically.
Thank you so much, James. You've done an awesome job. Like I said earlier, your enthusiasm is definitely contagious. I wish I had your artistic ability because you got me excited. Although I just apply blends to boxes. So we thank everyone for joining our virtual trade show this week and all the sessions. We really hope that you've learned something. You've gathered some information about 2026. As we said earlier, if you have any questions for sales, you can reach them at, goodness, I always forget that number. James, do you have the number?
For the sales?
Yeah, I don't call it, so my apologies.
Sales is going to be 877-657-7500.
And you can also email them at softwaresales@wilcomamerica.com. Any support questions? I know some of you had some questions regarding different things going from 2025 to 2026. Feel free to email support@wilcomamerica.com, or you can give us a call at 877-522-7448. Again, we thank you very much for joining us these last couple of days, and we hope to talk to you soon. Have a great day.